As somebody unfortunate enough to learn about the evil of what rules us, satanic, cultist, globalist billionaires, and who they are and what they do, you can honestly make a good prediction what when they introduce something into society, what it's for, by how much money they gave it. I've learned there's a few tiers of billionaire funded social functions where you know what it's going to be used for based on how much money they gave it. So, personal hobby. These would be things like just things that they enjoy, but they don't really anticipate it's going to help their control very much, like a yacht, a new house, funding to the arts, a personal hobby, revenge, or entertainments. When it's something they're doing that is just personal, like the way you would buy a video game, then you know that's what it's used for if they're spending 100 million or less, 50 million or less. When it's two or one digit millions, and they don't really plan on using this for social control or anything other than entertainment. So for example, Sergey Brin, for example, gave 150 million to my plot, right? David Baszucki gave millions. But you look at the actual conditions that affect them somewhat. Um, like for example, there's a disease that one of the Bazucki's family has for real. They only gave a few million, but they gave like many more millions to my plot. That's because my plot is a psyops, and this disease that affected their family, but they don't anticipate will affect them. They only gave like 5 million or something ridiculous, right? Sergey Brin gave 150 million, right? But he's given a lot more to Parkinson's because he has the gene for Parkinson's, right? So it's not like for him, it's like this depends on my future. Like if I don't cure Parkinson's, I will die. So he gave a lot to that. But then you look at what David Baszucki gave to an illness that affected a family member, but they don't anticipate it's going to affect them. Almost nothing. That's how you know. Like disease in family that doesn't affect them, nothing. Psyops, 150 million. We're past the 3 digit mark. Disease that they have, many millions, many millions. And again, because that's the order of operations. Thing that happens that I don't care about, but I kind of care about, nothing. Because they don't love their family. They don't love anything. Right. So if their family's sick, but they don't have the gene themselves, who gives a fuck? Right. So they give like what, nothing to this condition. I have to look it up what it is. I don't remember. Psyops plot to control slaves, to bust progressivism, to use progressives to give them power so that they can make MAGA, 150 million. That's now you're in the psyops range, the Epstein plot range, 200 million. Then the next is something directly affecting their control. I'm going to die of this. This will materially, directly translate into my survival. Millions, if not billion. ICE. So you can see in the big beautiful bill, they cut everything but gave billions to ICE. That right there, again, the formula, single to 2 digit millions is it doesn't help me stay powerful. 3 digit, this is a psyops. It doesn't directly give me power, but it fucks minds up so I get power. 3 digits for those psyops. Epstein, Wexler, and Black, 200 million. My plot, 150 million, right? And then the third strata is this will directly cause my control to perish or advance. Things like building a secret police, things like curing a disease that you know you have. Billions for that. Billions. It will be always 3 digit donations, if not 7. So when I saw they were giving multi-billions to ICE, that is when I knew it's going to be the billionaire secret police. And when you see Will Stancil, who's a corporate Democrat, saying ICE is now acting like the secret police, again, I predicted this. I told you it's going to be their secret police. I said this before what we're seeing happened, right? Now, don't fall for these corporate Democrats saying the goal is to remove non-white people. The goal is to be the arm of Palantir. So right now they're harassing Hispanic people because they don't care about human life. Just like they don't care I'm not a Nazi and I'm being raped. If anything, it gives them joy to crush the weak. It makes them feel like God. They also don't care. Little Hispanic kids are crying. They don't care. They're Satanists. They call themselves atheists, but they're in a religion of being monstrous demons. They're sociopaths. They're oriented toward a high of God. They lie. They're immortal. Listen to my fucking words. They are demons. We're ruled by demons. The world is the way it is because these pieces of shit are in power, right? So that's how I know everything that's going to happen. That's how I knew ICE would become the secret police force. I had already observed these trends. If it's something that doesn't affect them at all, but like they're expected to pretend to care, they give 1 to 2 digit millions. If it's a psyops that gives them indirect power by making people stupid and enslaved mentally, 3 digits. It'll be 200 million they donate. If it's something that directly manifests in their future survival or power, it'll be a billions. And when I saw they were giving billion, that's when I knew this is going to be their secret police. And do not be fucking fooled by the we're not a white nationalist. White people have no power. Poor ass whites have no fucking power. They want you to punch their face, like they want you to punch ISIS's face, so you don't punch a Satanist billionaire's face. And they started this phase of making ICE the secret police right as Trump got up there and told the white dumb chuds, guess what? I'm the secret globalist pedophile who doesn't touch Bibles. It's me, you dumb motherfucker. And so what do you do next? Deploy ICE. Now you box MAGA as narrow-minded and uneducated as they are into they were creeping toward examining maybe Trump is wrong, and now they're like, I have to defend Trump against the libs. The libs are against ICE. And count on this. This is not going to end with them removing Hispanic people and minorities. This is just for now. It's going to transition to if you say anything about Israel, you disappear. If you say anything about Elon Musk's companies, you disappear. You don't think that could happen. It is going to happen. And that is what it's used for. That is the real reason they're making ICE. They're the ass liquor army they've been building in society since they targeted me and before. They're going to hone into ICE. It will be well known, colloquially known amongst people, that ICE is a billionaire secret police force. I mean, the dumb ones are still going to control, like, this is keeping America safe. But, like, anyone with a brain is going to be able to know, like, this is their secret police, and they serve the capital elites, and they disappear anybody who tries to speak out against the evils they do, like Israel, what they're doing right now. Companies like Roblox weirdly has as above, so below shit with raping kids on it, all that shit. Tesla, he's a fraud. He does not have self-driving cars. Why? Like anyone who says shit like that will disappear. That is what it's going to be used for. But right now, they're introducing them to society as kneecapping little Hispanic kids, so MAGA doesn't chuff. MAGA doesn't huff. I don't want this, like my poodle. They just go along thinking they'll affect them because they're stupid. And only slightly less stupid are the liberals who truly believe this is a white nationalist revolution. Yeah, okay, a Jewish guy like Stephen Miller wants a white nationalist revolution. Think about it. The reason so many people who are elites in the white nationalist branch of MAGA, like Laura Loomer, Stephen Miller, who's that ugly motherfucker, lives at TikTok. She looks like her parents have been breeding together for generations. The reason so many of them are Jewish is because it's not a white nationalist revolution. It's an elite revolution. And they just happen to be elites who are Jewish. And that's why they're comfortable promoting it. Because they know this doesn't end with white people kicking out Jews. They know it ends with white people being disappeared by ICE if they don't keep the party line on Israel. Oh, but elites never lie. If the DHS account is saying all this white nativist shit, it has to be what they're really about. I'm not like, I wish I was stupid because I've been removed from society. So I wish I was stupid, and I wish I could like think the way these people think. Like the top layer is the truth. Like, if I was stupid, this is all I'd be thinking. Oh my God, leftists got me. They got me because I'm a Nazi. They think I'm a Nazi, and leftists got me. And the billionaires are secretly like leftists or something. And if I was stupid, I probably would have been a Trumper. So I'd be like, oh my God, Trump's fake. Because they probably would have made, like, if the life path they planned out for me or tried to plan out for me, because they don't care who they're really targeting. They just put you in a box. Doesn't matter if the box doesn't fit. So they anticipated I'd be like this huge MAGA with MAGA shit, like, and then in secret I'd be reading white nationalist shit because they don't care who they're targeting. They don't care if the truth is. They just make shit fit, right? So they anticipated that's the kind of life I'd be living. Like, I don't know, I like Trump. And then, like, maybe in secret, I'd be like, oh, white nationalism. Trump's gonna get rid of these browns. And they think I'd be like one of those morons. So they set up a life, like a plot around that when it didn't happen because I'm not a fucking moron. I was a suffering kid. I just happened to get targeted for this bullshit. They were going to target somebody. They anticipated I would look at what's happening, like, oh God, the lefties are in control all this time in secret. And Trump, they probably have Trump be signaling at me and all the MAGA prominents, like, yeah, you believed in us, but we're not real. So they were left because I always like they were left struggling to make this fit. Like there was no one I had faith in. I was not a part of a political cult because I always knew the shit. Like billionaires control this shit, and we're in a culture war, and these liberals are fake. And this MAGA is ridiculous. Why the fuck do you think your life gets better if they build a wall around? How stupid do you have to be to believe that? Like that was always my orientation, right? So there was no one really that I would respect who they could wig me out with, and they were left making the keto people I followed wig me out. Like, these people I didn't worship or bond to in any way, but like they were like, we're in the keto diet sphere. Guess what? You're being attacked. I'm just like, I don't care about you. They expected me to be a cultist because most people in society were stupid or cultist, right? And so when I didn't have a political cult, because I knew they're all shit. I just have only learned more what I already knew. I was already saying shit like this, like, oh, they're making this cops suck thing in 2020 a big deal. I bet you it's because Amazon wants to privatize the police. I knew what the fuck was up. Like all this shit on social media is fake bullshit. They act like, oh no, you're shocked and you learn it. It's like they just invented a person. Like I was supposed to be a dumbass MAGA who's secretly really racist. That was my role. And it just is not has nothing to do with me. So they made it fit, right? And another thing they do is they pretend I was a queer phobe, like I hate trans people. Like completely opposite to the reality of who I am. Like I consider myself gender divergent. I'm old, so I don't call myself non-binary. I don't think that label makes sense personally. Um, Not the sense of people who exist who are outside the spectrum of male or female because of brain differentiation. That is real, but like I don't agree with the label of non-binary. It's something kids made up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense outside of an English language perspective where gendered pronouns are not that serious. Like a table is a woman, a computer is a man. Like the emphasis on gendered words is very English language, and it's also immature. It's immature to be upset about a pronoun. When I was little, because I am gender divergent, I was upset about pronouns. As I got older, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm still who I am. The inability to come to terms with if somebody calls you her, it doesn't matter is so childlike. And it's actually a psyops from the CIA. Like, if they don't respect your pronouns, you can't possibly cope with it. That's how I thought at like 16. Like, she, and I'd like, ooh, like, as an adult, I don't give a fuck. And guess what? There are whole languages where it doesn't fucking matter that much. Like, she's a phone. It's like, so it doesn't change reality. It doesn't change who I am, right? But like they kind of engender this. It's CIA. It's very CIA shit. Like if they don't call you he, you're gonna just melt, die, and then there's like, yeah, okay. And they kind of engender weakness, engender a childlike thinking, engender a polarization versus like, I am who I am, regardless of what you say. Like, it doesn't matter, you know? And that's a mature, and it's also because it's mature, it's a more applicable to different social groups. But only in the English, like in the pronouns, they made this like the thing. This is the left side of the culture war. It's made by the CIA, and it's designed to mind control and mind fuck, right? The how they got leftists and gender divergent people to focus on pronouns so much is how they got the right to focus on trans people so much. It is the same thing. It is not natural to being gender divergent or trans that you die a pronoun. That is not a thing. It is not natural to, just like on the right, it is not natural that all of your thoughts are trans people are getting you. You know, but they were both created by intelligence to mentally control, except only one of these people can see it. Like on the left, like, why do you care so much of trans people? But then you ask them, why do you die about pronouns? There's nothing to being gender diverse. That would be a thing where you would center all your activities around pronouns. How did that get to be online? Your group that is heavily infiltrated, right? Anyway, yeah, I hate how they do that. Like, you hate queer. Like, they try to make it fit, despite the fact everything I wrote my entire life was I can't stand right wing morons who really do hate queers and they're brainwashed into this shit. Versus what I was doing, dunking on the CIA left. And I still do. The CIA left. Like, you won't say my pronouns? I guess I'll just die. It's like, how did this get to be a cogent norm? This is a kid. This is this is kid thinking. This is juvenile dependent thinking. What the? How did this get to be like a rallying cry? And then the other side, like, we will ever say your pronouns. My life is consumed with trans people existing. It's like you're both mind fucked, but only one of them sees the other side. It's like you're there. You are so fucked as well, bro. It shouldn't be a case that an adult, if somebody don't say your pronouns, you can't cope. That shouldn't be a thing ever. Nor should it lead to extreme thoughts like you're a hateful person who wants to destroy me. That shouldn't happen either. Binary splitting, childlike reductive thinking from the CIA. The only thing different about what I used to say is I was less aware it's literally the CIA. Like, they kind of, like, again, if you grew up in America, even though the CIA is all around you, all around your culture, all around in your media, you are trained not to think of it that way, so it works, right? So you may have a burgeoning awareness the way I did. The billionaires were doing this, but you don't have that well-formed thought. It's literally the CIA. Literally, like, and if you do even cursory research, it sounds like a conspiracy, and they promote narratives of the crazy schizophrenic obsessed with the CIA. So you don't realize that's actually true. Just like they promote narratives of the elites drink hurt babies, and then they have the crazy person say something even crazier. So that's truth. That they really do hurt kids. That they really do identify Satanists now becomes crazy by association. And in a lot of ways, like the cultural trope of a crazy person obsessed with the CIA is, so you say, if I think the CIA is affecting my thoughts, my life, my outlook, that is crazy. When it's actually so fucking true. Evidently true, right? And when I say evidently true, I mean you don't have to try. You could just cursory do a little research and you can find agents on, say, even their own home base, YouTube, called CIA Tube, because Google is an arm of the CIA, where agents are there, officers saying your average person has no idea throughout their life they have met many CIA officers. They're constantly doing things. But they promote and have for decades the narrative of the crazy, irrelevant schizophrenic who thinks the CIA does things. So this way, people swallow the narratives they're told without second guessing or analyzing. Why would this be in society? Who put this here? Why is this outlook being celebrated? And I assure you, they all go down to the CIA. And what the CIA is the priest class for the billionaire. That's what they are. In feudal systems, you had the king, who are where they are from a noble bloodline of Wotan, and then you have the church. who exist to control hearts and minds to keep people in that frame of mind to have to worship the king. And that's what the CIA is to the billionaire. He is the billionaire's priest, the billionaire's advisor, the billionaire's Svengali. And that is all the CIA does. It does not protect the people, it protects the billionaire, right? And we got to where we are by them constantly undermining society so that we're in this mindfuck chamber we currently are, and people think it's normal, I take for granted. And even cultural tropes like the crazy schizo who thinks the CIA does things is so you don't question your narrative in world. Because if respectable people said, yeah, the CIA is constantly, they're on social media, they're on media, they're Google, they own Google. The CIA is intertwined with Google. So that means every aspect of your life, YouTube, Gmail, they're up in it. Like they're constantly shaping narratives and introducing ideas that would probably help the elites that pay them. They don't have a respectable person say that because then people would start analyzing it like, what is it natural to me that I would fight for pronouns? Does that really do anything? Is it natural to me that I would focus more on trans people than the fact that people I worship are overt scammers? Does that make sense? People started questioning these things. But when you're not aware you're being manipulated, you can't question the manipulation. You just conform to it, adopt it subconsciously, purposefully, and then you're neutralized. Anyway, yep. You can predict what something in society is going to be based on how much money the billionaire class gives it. So irrelevant things that don't affect control, 1 to 2 digits of millions. Psyops, 3 digits, 200 million, 300 million, 150 million. Things that will directly affect their survival and control, billions. When you see a new thing coming and the money given to it from a billionaire, you can know what it's going to be used for by that handy tool. And yes, despite me being crazy, I predicted the ICE would become the secret police, and they are now transitioning to secret police. And count on this next prediction. This is not about what supremacy that the fucking fake libs on the payroll will tell you. It's going to be about the compliments of things like Palantir disappearing anybody who even utters a word against them.